We may not be legendary talents like some of you in this room. Well, maybe Mariana is.
Well, yes, I believe I'm the star of my own show, and it's a mix between Tangerine, Boys Don't Cry, and of course, Grace and Frankie. But when you're able to survive many things in life, there is nothing better than to celebrate.
And in the eyes of our next honoree, we are both stars. Monday through Friday, Mariana and I work at the center, and we are so proud of the work we do every day for the LGBT community.
Like us, Miley Cyrus was inspired by the center when she first visited in January. She took a tour and spent time getting to know some of the homeless youth we serve.
Soon after her visit, Miley founded the Happy Hippie Foundation to help LGBTQ homeless youth and other vulnerable populations, and launched a campaign to do just that.
Alex and I were fortunate enough to be chosen by Miley to participate in her Insta Pride campaign, a photo series on Instagram that featured images. Images and stories of real people from our transgender community.
The beautiful pictures in this campaign, all of which were shot by Miley herself, were seen by millions of people and helped to continue changing hearts and minds by confronting many of the misconceptions that people still hold about gender today.
Personally, I was terrified to tell the world about my story. It was scary. Not because I am ashamed of who I am, but because every day I work with survivors of discrimination and hate. Visibility is a luxury that not everyone can afford. But at the photo shoot, Miley knew about me and the work that I do, and wanted to capture and celebrate that. So when Miley calls you, you put your happy hippie smile and pose.
And I will never forget when Miley and I were posing for a photo together. My foot was goofily planted in the air and I was about to fall over. She held on to me, laughed, and I don't know if you remember this, and you said, "Don't worry, I got you." That is who she is. That is who she is. For so many of us within and even outside the LGBTQ community, she is catching us before we fall and lifting us up. She also dares to push boundaries in ways few have had the courage to do, helping to reduce LGBTQ prejudice and empowering people to be proudly themselves.
The Los Angeles LGBT Center's Vanguard Award honors inspirational people who exemplify courage, compassion, and relentless tenacity for creating positive change in the world.
Yeah. Tonight, we are so proud to honor our friend, our favorite happy hippie, and a true vanguard across generations. Please welcome Miley Cyrus.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Alex and Mariana. You're getting me all teared up over there. I borrowed some powder out of your purse. I hope you don't mind. I'm serious. I mean, I already licked a piano tonight, so that's not that big of a deal. Anyways, thank you so much. I really had to pee, so I'm gonna make this kind of quick, but I didn't want to move, because what if you did all that and then I was peeing? I mean, that would just be not what I came here for. I actually came here for the food, which was extremely good, and the vegan dish was bomb, so thank you very much. Please invite me back every year. Alright, so I'm gonna get to it. The color yellow is associated with sunshine and cheerfulness and generates joy. And this bold attention getter produces an effect that induces optimism and hope. Just like these two audacious humans that I've had the honor of receiving this award tonight. And just two of the reasons of why Happy Hippie must be represented by such an energetic color. By the way, this is so weird. I like paper. But anyway, before even meeting the participants of Happy Hippies and Pride, which soon were to become friends of mine, I already felt like I knew them. Because I had been reading and watching all their stories, and I was looking at their pictures, learning about their families. And so when everyone showed up to the studio that day for the shoot, that day, the abundance of love that was in that room was honestly overwhelming. And there are a few people here tonight with me that shared this metamorphic experience with us and can vouch that it was totally and nothing less than a magical day. Am I right? And the day began with all of us coming together in a circle for kind of a family gathering pep talk in a room full of makeup artists and wardrobe stylists and manicurists who I am very much appreciative for donating their time, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone who flew from around the country, and hey, the world, to join us felt comfortable. And so with that being said, the moral of the discussion was pretty simple, and it was do and be whoever the fuck you want. And I wanted everybody's neon souls and spirits to shine bright through these images and their stories to be told, not only through the text, but their eyes and their smile and their own personal style. And Mariana and Alex, you were absolutely right to say, yes, you are a star, an incandescent light shining throughout the darkness, illuminating the world with your radiance, as did everybody that day. Leo, who is a 19-year-old boy from China, who was adopted by his two mothers, now living in Michigan, working at his school in the LGBTQ Resources Center, inspiring others by sharing his own stories and experiences. Gigi Gorgeous, who can make even the Queen's Guard smile, she always gets a woo, with her charisma and her personality, which has led so many people to fall so madly in love with her as I have. My favorite married couple, Greta and Nina, who co-found the nonprofit organization Trans Lifeline. That's a crisis hotline staffed by transgender people to respond to the needs of their community. And my favorite engaged couple, Miles and soon-to-be Precious Brady, I cannot wait to send her this video because that sounds so good, who worked tirelessly to break down the barriers that trans and especially trans men and women of color face. There's also Tyler, a beautiful 24-year-old gender non-conforming poet who I had the opportunity to meet while doing the Backyard Sessions, which was an online live music series taking place in, well, given the name is pretty self-explanatory, my backyard, but it does get pretty interesting when you have Joan Jett and Ariana Grande, Melanie Sofka, Laura Jane Grace performing in your line with a pig, 5 dogs, and 3 cats running around. Which quickly, I just gotta get a plug in there. This event was sponsored by Facebook, and we were able to post these songs along with a direct donation button. And it will allow the viewers to support one of our newest endeavors as a foundation, which is an online digital platform that's easily accessible, interactive, and most importantly, safe for transgender and gender-expansive youth nationwide. It's kind of like Instagram with all of the bullshit. Brendan, a high school student who identifies as both male and female from Las Vegas, aka my fashion icon / fellow RuPaul Drag Race fanatic and enthusiast. The obsession has reached an entirely new level since knowing Brendan. This season we actually watched the finale together via FaceTime since we were separated by state. And I had gone MIA from some of the friends that I had over at my place, and they found me glued to the couch crying over the winner with Brendan on the other line screaming like we had just won the lottery. And we actually met at a RuPaul taping, and Brendan was there with his family, who, when you see together, is actually a mural of unconditional love and acceptance. And last, but most definitely not least, AJ. And AJ is a recent high school graduate who has only met 2 other trans people before the day of our Insta Pride shoot. So that was pretty fucking cool. And this is one of my favorite stories, not only of the day. I'm getting comfortable, this isn't good. Not only of the day, it's almost over, and you've got to be a little tipsy by now. And this is one of the best of the day and possibly ever. Right after our do whoever, be whatever the fuck you want speech, it was time to begin shooting, and I was looking for volunteers to be the first photographed. Which actually, surprisingly enough, given how much I talk and little I wear, I'm actually pretty shy. So this brazenness is something I totally admire. And I look over at AJ, who is now shirtless, and says, me, I'll go. It took a lot of work to look like this. I want to show it all off. And I haven't heard something this quotable, except maybe out of the mouth of my godmother, Dolly Parton. So, it was a party from that moment on. Let's just say that, literally. We had confetti cannons, we were bumping the beats. Somebody even ordered like 20 freaking pizzas. I mean, do you remember that? It was like, who's paying for that shit? This is charity, man. And with all these incredible, extraordinary human beings, I've had the privilege of getting to know and photograph. And all of the ones that I haven't had the pleasure. It is still so mind-boggling to me that I'm the one up here being presented the Vanguard Award. And, all right, now we're gonna get into some real deal shit. Story time's done. We're gonna hit you with the cold hard facts, people, because we're almost out. All right, so there are more than 1.6 million runaway or homeless young people in the U.S. each year, with 40% of homeless youth identifying as LGBTQ. And in just Hollywood, where we are all sitting, we're so royally with all of our food in front of us and all these fancy ass clothes, which, with all due respect, I mean, I love flowers and sparkles as much as the rest of us in the room, some of us more than others. But something didn't really feel quite right about all of it when we're in a city where there are more than 6,100 homeless people under the age of 24 on the streets on any given day. And more than 1 in 4 of these people have experienced hate crimes due to their race, sexual orientation, or their gender identity. And when beginning my foundation, I didn't want it to be associated with darkness or bitterness to the injustice that we're battling, but the thrill and the eagerness of all of us in this room that we share to one day be living in a truly free world. And I know that I'll have been honored to even been a twinkle in the diamond sky of this dream, and I want all of you to know that I feel beyond grateful to be in a room full of so many, I'm gonna get emotional, Mariana, we're gonna have to get the powder, to be in a room full of so many people who care so much about others, because unfortunately, that is just way too rare in the world that we live in today. Maybe that's why I'm up here on the receiving end of this award. And I am thinking of tonight, don't make me lose it. I'm thinking of tonight as not celebrating what we've already done, but what we're doing and what we're gonna do in the future. And, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. And we're gonna continue to fight against the judgment and the stigma that comes with not only the LGBTQ, a lot of words, letters, the LGBTQ community, which is disproportionately affected by HIV/AIDS because of discrimination, which could lead to homelessness. And once on the street, these young people are exchanging sex for food, clothing, and shelter as their only chance of survival by putting them at a much greater risk of contracting this disease. But also, the 25% of the homeless population that has serious unmanaged mental illnesses, including chronic depression, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia. And there are so many people around the world that deserve this recognition, and one of which I'm honored to have witnessed tonight, Jane Fonda, who I have lived by this quote for a long time, and it was, to be a revolutionary, you have to be a human being. You have to care about people who have no power. And, you know, we have been given this megaphone, and it's our responsibility as human beings to do everything that we can to protect our fellow people, environment, and we cannot forget about the animals. I will always put that on this. Right, Linda? Also, I want to say a huge congratulations to Ron, who I never actually got to meet, still haven't got to meet. Maybe you're still in here, maybe you're drunk. Hi! Hello? Oh, fuck, thank you for having me be a part of your movie, and it's badass. All right, thank you. It's so great to share this night with you, and I'm greatly appreciative to have been a part of it with Linda, who had me up here licking a piano. It's as weird as it is, isn't that weird for either of us, but I'll continue to fight along with this industrious army that is the LA LGBT Center to see the changes we want made in our world. And we set up here to brag about everybody else. So let me just quickly brag about the LA LGBT Center and tell a quick story. Since 1969, before I was even a thought, the LGBT Center has cared for individuals in LA and beyond. And today the center provides services for, as Lily said, more LGBT people than any other organization in the world. And I'm so honored for Happy Hippie to have had the opportunity to partner with the MAC AIDS Fund to create support groups as part of the center's recently launched Trans Lounge programming, which is designed for trans people living with HIV to provide them with any additional services that they may need. And I just really quickly want to specifically thank Lori and Kurt for all that you do and for inviting me into your welcoming center. And the first day that I got to visit you all is a day that I never will forget. And that's because given the opportunity to sit in one of the support groups, I walked away with a feeling of self-love that I have never been able to even give myself before. Because, you know, my life until that point, even I think, was subconsciously convinced that I had to label myself, because everything in our life has to have a name. Everything in our life is something, but I'm not a thing. We're not a thing. We're humans with feelings that change, just like this weather that we gotta do something about, and I'm not alone. I mean, I was so moved when I first heard someone sitting beside me say, some days I wake up and I'm the masculine version of myself, and some days I wake up and I'm the feminine version of myself, and that's totally okay. And so the LGBT Center had the key to the lock on my cage, and they set me free. And I want to continue to do the same for others by working closely with the LGBT Center and their 500 plus employees and over 3,000 volunteers. And I know regifting isn't always kosher, but tonight we're all taking home the Vanguard Award because of all your hard work, and everyone on Team Happy Hippie. We say this all the time, the future is a blank canvas, and I am just so lucky to be surrounded by artists as devoted and benevolent as you, and I know that this is just the beginning for all of us. And as I begin to finish, I just want to say, that's all of us. I know, it's funny now. I swear, this next part's really good. And you know, I got a new puppy, so I've been in the house a few days, and I actually wore clothes tonight, and Linda said that was more shocking, and so I was trying to, you know, get some press, because I'm wearing a dress. Alright, anyway, I just want to say, let's all of us tonight, okay, here we go. All of us tonight smoke a joint, just kidding, that's just me. Before we lay in our bed, which so many people around this city won't have the comfort of doing tonight, let's write down what it is that we would like to see happen. Let's make a fucking plan, let's put it under our pillows, and let's work on it. Every single day together, because I'm here, and I'm ready, and please tonight, anyone come up to me and let's just put into action what we've all talked about, all right, tonight. And I will never disregard the importance of awareness, but let's fucking do some shit, okay? And I promise I'm done. I know it's funny. But lastly, totally contradictory to the I'm done part, one of my favorite quotes from another heroine of mine, and I'm gonna leave you with this, I swear. Audrey Hepburn said, as you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands. One for helping yourself and one for helping others. And thank you all for tonight. Thank you, LGBT Center. I'm fucking out of here. Peace out.